Hi guys, Gorilla Tavern here, and tonight I wanted to show you one of my favorite long-term storage foods. This is the Ova Easy eggs. These are freeze-dried, and they come as just like an orangish powder, like tang looking stuff. This is actually what's left after the last video I did with these. I think was for the Urban Preppers Bug Out Cookout contest, but this is the last bit of those eggs, and I think it's been several months, and I just rolled it up like this, chip clipped it, threw it in a jar or in a drawer. They don't require refrigeration after opening, and lasts for several years unopened in their foil packet. So anyway, but rather than just cooking them up and making them plain, I was going to show you a real interesting way you can do this. And what I'm going to do is pre-mix the egg mix with some other dried stuff. And today I'm going to cheat a little, and rather than going and getting dried mushrooms at, like, you know, $5 a little package, I just got one fresh mushroom. But you can do stuff like dried mushroom powders if you like mushrooms, or you can leave mushrooms out, you know, it's an omelet. Make it how you like it. Another fresh thing I'm going to use is chives. Chives are really easy to get freeze-dried. You can get them freeze-dried chives in any grocery store, in the spice racks. And Mountain House emergencyessentials.com, you can, or I think it's beprepared.com, but Emergency Essentials, you can buy freeze-dried cheese. Again, I'm cheating because even if I did have a number 10 can of freeze-dried cheese, I wouldn't open it for this video. So bacon bits, sun-dried tomatoes. Tomatoes you can dry yourself, and I like mine a little spicy, so I got some crushed red pepper. And you can basically take all of your ingredients except for the water and store them in a Ziploc or a vacuum sealed in a bag, although Ziplocs are preferable for me. And then or what you can do is put them in a Ziploc, roll it up, freeze, and vacuum seal it. That would be good too. But what I'm going to do is mix all the dry ingredients in here, and then you could store that for a long period of time. And then when you wanted to make an omelet, you just open it up, measure out the water, put it in the bag with the ingredients, mix it up, and you can either drop the whole bag into like a pot of boiling water. Say you had what are those, the canteen cup things or whatever. You just drop the whole thing into the boiling water and cook it like that, or you can fry it up. We're gonna fry it up here since I'm doing this inside, but we'll still mix it in the bag. So I guess we'll chop these up real quick. Now, I've seen a lot of videos lately online of people trying out those Mountain House breakfast meals, and they use freeze-dried cooked eggs, and I've had those. I've also had the powdered eggs from, like, you know, food box donations from, like, you know, the government cheese version, and they're awful. They're just absolutely disgusting. And so when I discovered the Over Easy eggs, I had to try them, and I was very, very happy with the way that they turned out. I mean, I've done a couple of videos before this where I had my daughter and my girlfriend's son, my son, try them out. The first video, the actual video was absolutely awful. It was done on my phone, poor lighting, poor audio, but you can see they couldn't tell the difference between the two. In fact, when I asked which they liked better, they both indicated they liked the Over Easy eggs better than the real eggs. And I did a second video where I did a spam and egg bug out bag breakfast. That was the last video I did. That turned out pretty good. Not easy to do on your back porch, I'll tell you. Okay, so we got those chopped up. You know what, I'm gonna open these up, chop these up a little. I'm not a big fan of sun-dried tomatoes, but well, those are pretty chopped up. So, but I do like tomatoes in my omelets, so pull out a couple good pieces there. Now the Over Easy comes with a little measuring cup inside the foil packet, and one of these days I'm gonna have to find out exactly how much that is, but I'm pretty sure that's a tablespoon. And the instructions on the back says 2 scoops of powder to 3 scoops of cold water equals 1.5 egg, but I'm thinking those eggs are either small or like small size eggs, because it doesn't really make that much. So I would say 2 scoops to 3 scoops equals 1 extra large egg, or grade A large egg. So I'm going to make 3 servings, so I'm going to need 6 scoops. There's still a lot left in there. There's enough to make probably 2 more servings, and I already made a whole bunch of eggs with this before. Supposedly this makes is equivalent to a carton of fresh eggs. So now we have the egg powder in there. We can add our sun-dried tomatoes, or what would normally be dried vegetables and fungi. And if you got it, freeze-dried cheese. Bacon bits. I like mine bacony. Some salt. And pepper. Almost forgot. Crushed red peppers. This is my personal preference though. I just like things a little spicy. Not too much. Now, if everything in here was freeze dried, you could actually store this mix just like this. Throw it in your bug out bag, or however, yeah, it'd be good for a bug out bag. It's light, and that's a lot of food. That'll feed 2 people. So what you want to do when you're ready to eat is take your bag, and for sake of time, I've already pre-measured the water. I added 1 extra scoop for the rest of the dehydrated stuff, like the bacon bits. Close it up and just mix. Make sure you get the corners nice and good too, because that powder likes to hide in them. Now, one thing you got to remember when making this, for some reason the eggs cook extra fast, so you'll want to cook on a lower heat than you would normally do. And if you want to let the some of the food, some of the dehydrated stuff rehydrate before cooking, you'll want to let it sit for a few minutes. That looks kind of gross. That's nice and chunky, but I guarantee that's going to taste delicious. So, and one of the things I do keep in my provisions is good old olive oil. Get that heating up. Okay, now that it's getting warmed up, like I said, you could just drop this bag in to some boiling water and that'll cook right up, just like that. But since I have a pan and we're indoors, I'm just going to pour it in the pan. And we're going to fast forward through this part. Looks like my battery's about to die, but get a nice close look at that. Looks more like a scramble than a omelet, so that's gonna taste nice. Oh God, that is good. That is as good as fresh made. It looks a little weird, but it tastes just like an omelet. And to me, the taste is way more important than the looks. Now that is delicious. Thanks for watching, guys. I just wanted to show you guys one more thing while I'm eating this here. This is the texture. I mean, not that eggs have the greatest texture in the world, but I mean, the texture, this is spot on. Honestly, if you were blind or blindfolded, there's no way you could tell.